Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to box dye your hair at home. And before I start off, I'm just going to have to say a couple of things about dyeing and bleaching your hair at home. The major thing is that when you're going to bleach or dye your hair, always buy bleach. Especially if you're going from like a dark brown to a blonde, because color does not go over top of color. So when you are dyeing your hair and you want to get like a lighter color, get bleach and then dye it a lighter color. Do not put a hair color over top of your hair color. It just won't work. And it's not going to lighten it. It's not going to do anything. And it might lighten it like half a shade. It might be slightly lighter, but it's not going to be the result that you want. And that is another thing that I'm going to say is that don't expect it to be absolutely perfect. Do not expect this at-home stuff to look like you just came out of a salon. And the second you like assume the worst and then dye your hair, when it turns out all right, you're going to feel so much better about it than if you were to sit there and expect something absolutely perfect. Because if you just expect it to be perfect, you're going to be disappointed no matter what. So you always got to think about like the worst possible outcome when doing it yourself. And then another thing is if you were going to bleach and then dye your hair, do not bleach and dye your hair on the same day. Wait a couple of days. Just do not bleach and dye your hair a few minutes later. It will destroy your hair. Maybe once or twice, it won't hurt. But if you continuously do that, it will. And I dyed my hair a couple of times a month over the last few years. And that was because I chose crazy colors. Like I had like hot pink or purple or blue. And those were like high maintenance colors where they would wash out pretty fast. And I have to like dye them again. But then I would bleach it first. And I dyed like a different color. And I just was always bleaching my hair. And my hair got so damaged, it was falling out. I couldn't brush it. It was so clumpy. It was ruined. So I had to shave it all off. And I continuously have to cut it because I just would dye it way too many times and bleach it way too many times a month and continuously. So obviously, I do not do that as much anymore. The last time I dyed my hair was about a month ago. Before that, it was about another month. So before that, it was a really long time before I dyed my hair. I think it was like 3 months, and then I dyed my hair blonde. But having blonde hair for me is high maintenance because I have naturally really dark hair. So my roots grow in pretty fast, and they are darker than some blonde. And so I just need to, like, every so often when my roots really start growing in or when they really are noticeable, I bleach it. So definitely do not bleach and dye it on the same day. With that being said, I know that this is not the proper thing to be using for me. This is the gray coverage, and the reason why I'm using this is actually kind of like a funny story. So I don't have a lot of money to spend on bleach and hair dye, so I'd usually buy the bleach first, wait a while, and then dye my hair. One day, I just absolutely needed to dye my hair. Like, I just absolutely needed to dye my hair. I had like bleached it and dyed it, and it was like yellow and orange, and it was pretty gross. It was like, it wasn't like natural like this. It was like really gross orange and yellow, and I just needed to dye it. So I went to the store and I only had like $10. All the like hair dyes and stuff were like $15 over at Walmart, and I was like, that's too much for me. I only got like 10. So I went through and I was only looking at the prices and the color. I was not reading the boxes, which I probably should have done, but I'm glad I didn't. And I bought this blonde gray coverage. And my roots were growing in. It was like black it was like about an inch, and they were like pretty much black. And it was really bad. And the next day when I was going to dye my hair, because I buy it a couple of days or so in advance, I read the packaging for, you know, like all the instructions and stuff. And that's when I saw that it was a gray coverage. And I said, well, I'm still going to use it anyway. So I didn't have to buy bleach because my hair was already blonde. I had already bleached it. And the only thing was that I might just have slight discoloration and just a slight different color where my, like about like an inch of my roots were, and that was probably just going to be the only problem. So I put it on, and it's a 22-minute one where for 20 minutes you put the color in your hair, and then you wash it out, and then for two minutes you put in this like leave-in conditioner, you wash that out, and it just makes your hair really soft. So for 22 minutes, which is not a long time at all, like usually it takes me about an hour or so to do my, just bleach it and dye it and everything, it just takes a while. It actually colored and lightened my roots, then everything was one color, and I was just absolutely in love with it. So that's why I purposefully bought a gray coverage blonde. But I don't know if it'll work for everyone. It just, that maybe it was just like a one-time chance for me that it worked. But I do love these because they are a lot cheaper than the other ones. This one was $6, and it's a lot better than spending like $15 or $20. So yeah, and obviously if you want to like figure out if you're gonna need bleach or not, definitely look at these. These won't be like exact colors. Like this is probably not what it's gonna look like. Might be different. But always like look at these, and if your hair is here and you're trying to get to like a blonde like this, bleach, because it will not turn from a black to a blonde. You have to bleach it. There's a long process if you're going from like a really dark black to a blonde, and it could take actually a month depending on how much hair you have, depending on how much you're dyeing blonde, just depending on everything really. I mean, I know I dyed my hair black one time, and black is one of the hardest colors to get out, and I spent probably $30 on bleach to try and get it out just so I could get it blonde, just so I could dye it pink when I was in the 8th grade. Like, it was a long process, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply the color. But obviously, if you were going from like a natural blonde or just a bleach blonde to a darker color, you don't really need to bleach it. But if you are going from like a darker color trying to go to a blonde, definitely get bleach. I am going from a blonde to another blonde. I'm not expecting it to do too much. I just want it to be the same color because school photos are in a couple of days, and I feel like I should do it now so that way in case it does mess up, I have about 6 days-ish, maybe less than that now, to fix it. That is why I'm doing it a couple days in advance, which is another reason why I like to buy my hair dye and bleach before I'm actually supposed to dye it or bleach it. I had this sitting on my desk. Oh my gosh, I think it's been a week now. I've been saving this for this weekend, and I'm going to use it tonight. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to put it on and how to actually box dye your hair. So obviously read the instructions. They are going to help you so much. And when you are doing your hair, always, you know, just like wear the gloves, read the instructions, and just, you know, be careful with it. You want to saturate all your hair when you're doing this. You want to get it like a pretty thick coating. Now obviously if you have thicker hair or longer hair, you're going to need more than one box. I am thankful that I shaved all my hair off. I could show you guys. This is all the hair that I have because a few months ago I got sick and tired of my long thick hair, and I cut it and I shaved it all the way around. And so this is the only amount of hair that I have, and it's all shaved, and I just like it because I can use one box of bleach or hair dye, and I don't need to worry because it's such a small amount of hair, and all I have to do is just about like an inch and a half, I guess, maybe even 2 inches for some parts, worry about like that much hair, and it's not a lot that I have to like deal with that's shaved off. But obviously it is growing back. I want it to grow back, but I do like how simpler, it's just a lot simpler to dye my hair now because it's so much thinner, and I don't have a lot of hair anymore, which is amazing. It does not take me 10 years to brush my hair anymore. So pretty much every hair dye box thing that you get, it will have gloves inside the instructions, and it's kind of like they're inside the instructions, so you open the instructions, you know, like you gotta read them. Now obviously I've used this before, so I know how to use it, but I always, even like when I know what I'm doing, I still like to like gloss over it, just so that way I refresh my mind, and that way I know exactly what everything is for, especially if I'm like going between brands and stuff. So it also tells you what you get in each thing, and it's also good to make sure that you have all of the products, And for me, it tells me the contents right here at the bottom. So this is the developer cream. This is the colorant cream. And then I have the 2-minute leave-in conditioner stuff. And that is all. So I am going to go and put this developer cream. I'm going to put the developer cream and the coloring cream together. So I just take it out of the tube and I put it in here. I shake it, and I will be back in a few minutes to show you guys that. And another thing is that you're supposed to like wash your hair and stuff before you do this. I did. I washed my hair yesterday. I only left my room probably for about 2 hours today. That's all. Like, I just like left the house for about 2 hours and that was it. So obviously my hair is, as of yesterday, freshly washed. It's dry right now. Obviously it is a mess because it was in a ponytail all day. But yeah, I'm going to brush it out because you always brush your hair before you put in the dye. And then I'm going to part my hair, because parting your hair is such like a good way to make sure that it's completely even. I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how to apply it. And I'm going to leave it in for 20 minutes, come back, show you guys what it looks like, and wash it out. Put in the conditioner, showing you guys what it looks like while it's wet, and then I'm going to dry it and show you guys what it looks like when it's dry. Obviously, I have a bit of my roots coming in, but the real reason why I want to do this now is because my hair kind of has those orangey undertones and yellowy undertones, because the bleach, like the last time I bleached and dyed my hair was a few months ago, and then I put the gray coverage on top of that one. It didn't last that long, but it did a great job at hiding it for about a month and a half. But I've washed my hair and it just comes out, and that's to be expected, really. So I am going to just dye it. Now this is a shade lighter than the last one that I chose, but I am hoping that it is a good color. And another thing is, if you're debating between two colors, go for the lightest shade, because it's so much easier to fix the lighter shade than the darker shade. Because if you go for the darker shade and you don't like it, you think it's too dark, you're gonna have to bleach it and do it all over again. So go for the lighter shade because it's just so much easier to fix. So obviously I liked the other color, but I wanted to see if I could go a bit lighter. So yeah, I'm gonna go brush my hair, part my hair, come back, show you guys how to apply this onto your hair properly and to get it fully saturated. And yeah, I don't know how long this video will be. Hopefully it won't be too long, because it only takes like 22 minutes to do this. So I could literally do it at like 1 a.m. Although I don't recommend that because you will be tired, but it's just so nice. And I just love these. And if this one does work the same way that the other one did, where it covers my roots, makes everything kind of one color, I will continuously keep buying the gray coverage because it works so well. And I mean, that's just like if I want to continuously be blonde. However, if I want to go back to being like a brunette or something, or even red hair or something, I don't know, I'll just go buy actual hair dye. Not for people with gray hair, but like actual hair dye for what I need it for, which is just covering blonde hair. That is, if I do decide to do anything other than blonde, which for now, it's just gonna be blonde. You know, I'm really feeling this blonde look. But yeah, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll go back to my natural hair color at some point, but it will be a while. I know it was from the 6th grade up until this year, I had never seen myself with blonde hair. It was, and it was also like I hadn't seen myself from the 6th grade until grade 11 that I had ever seen myself with my natural hair color. It was throughout those whole years, I was just dyeing my hair crazy colors, or just natural different colors, like red. I did a couple of times, like natural redhead. I did burgundy, I did purple, I did pink, I did blue. I did so many different colors, and just seeing myself in my natural hair color, it was something new. It was like, oh my god, this is interesting. But I went to blonde after I went to my natural hair color because I felt like it was too dark for the style that I was going for last year. I just I don't know, I just wasn't feeling the dark hair right now. I'm really feeling the light hair. It's probably because of the summer vibes. But I know when winter hits, I will probably just want to dye my hair back to brown. But we will see. So I'm going to go dye my hair. And yeah, I'll be right back in a few minutes. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just putting it on right here, right by my ear. And I'm going to do the bottom part first, kind of where it's all shaved. I like doing that first because I don't really have to, part that, but I did part the rest of my hair. I just kind of put it all up while I'm doing this, and then I'm going to go through, and each time I take a piece down, I'm going to brush it so that way the hair dye is even, and that way it's not a mess. So you just kind of like lather it on, and you want it to be like really saturated with the hair dye. You know, you want it to be pretty thick, I guess, you know, just a lot of it. So that way you know it's like fully covered and that it's gonna work. So I just finished doing the shave part of my head. Did not take long. So that did not take long at all to do this. I'm gonna go take this down now. I should have brought my brush in here. I will be right back. Basically how I'm gonna part it is I'm gonna take a little bit like that. Actually, I think I'll just brush it out with my hand. Like I brushed it before I put it on up in this little clip. I think that it's fine if I just do that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going through, and you're gonna put it up near the top because that's where it needs it the most, and then you're gonna slowly put it on through the bottom, right? And then you're gonna work your way down, and you wanted to get it fully saturated and covered, not missing a strand, as I almost did because I am not really fully paying attention to what I'm doing. But yeah, so completely saturate it. Make sure that you get it everywhere. And once it looks fully saturated like that, you can move on to the next piece. And you always want to do it pretty fast, so that way it's even. So I'm going to really quickly do it all, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to leave it on for 20 minutes. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like once I take off the little cap that I'll have on. And then I'm going to wash it out, and I'll show you guys the end product. So this is what I'm going to be doing to the rest of my hair. And that's always what you want to do. You just take a strand, brush it out, make sure that it's like done nicely. And yeah, so I will be right back. If I can. Alright, so I'm really quickly just going to say something that when you are doing this, you want to make sure that your parts are even. And yeah, that'll just make everything a lot easier because then you can see right where the roots are. Obviously you want to do it like small chunks. This is just two sections that I have combined. It was like that, and now it's like this. And yeah, so just make sure that you're getting it even, getting all the way up to the scalp, running it through, making sure that it is all saturated. Alright, so now that I have completely gotten every part done, I still have a bunch in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on my head and put it in my scalp, and I like to part my hair while I'm doing this, and I like to make sure that I got everywhere. As you can see, it's kind of a mess. But yeah, I like just running my fingers through it. Well, there's a bunch of stuff, and I just like making sure that the ends are done. Obviously the ends should be the last thing you kind of get to because they just take the color so much easier. Because of course they're the parts of your hair that have been out of your scalp for the longest amount of time. The one, like all like the little bits near the scalp, especially where the roots are, they kind of have this waxy cuticle layer, and it's pretty much like virgin hair. That's kind of what it's called, and it means that there have been no chemicals on that part of the hair, which means it needs a bit more time to take the color. So I just like making sure that I got it through every like little bit, making sure that it's even on every strand, and just really double checking, making sure that it is entirely saturated all around my hair. And I'm just going to use up whatever's left in this bottle. It appears to be about that much. So I'm just going to put it right on my scalp, a bit back. I'm actually really surprised with myself right now. There is no towel, anywhere near me. I am in my room and I've not spilt this one bit, but I do not recommend doing that because there's a chance that I just might, and then I will either ruin my clothing or the floor, whichever comes first. But so far I'm thinking that this is pretty good, and I think I've got most of it covered. I just want to use up all the hair dye. I'm just making sure that I get everywhere and underneath too. That's a huge thing, just making sure that everywhere is covered in this so it's even, so that way you don't have any like missed areas, so that way it's nice. And just kind of like rubbing it in. Alright, so now I have completely saturated my hair with the hair dye. I set a timer for 20 minutes and I will be washing it all off and then drying it after I use the leave-in conditioner for 2 minutes. And then this whole process should take probably about 10 minutes to apply it and 22 minutes to leave it in, and as well as like the leave-in conditioner. So this should take about 30 minutes to do this whole process. But yeah, so I'll be back when this is all dried and done. So I just put in the leave-in conditioner. This is what it looks like right now. I'm going to, in about a few minutes, I'm going to wash this out. And we don't have a blow dryer, so it's going to take me a while to get my hair to be dry. But this is what it looks like. It's really dark, but that's normal. This is the color that I got. So this is the shade that I'm supposed to get. It's just because when it's wet, it looks a lot darker. So I'm hoping that when it does dry, it will be all even, although I'm really not expecting much. Like when you get like a box hair dye, don't expect it to be perfect. So I'm just expecting it to look fine for my school photos. And then in like a week or two, it'll be a disaster again, but that's fine. Like, it's just box hair dye. It was $6. So don't expect a whole lot from box hair dye. Just maybe a week or two of having nice hair, and then after that, just expect the worst. And even as you're dyeing your hair, just always expect the worst. Always expect that it's gonna be patchy, blotchy, that it's gonna make your hair fall. Just expect the worst, that way when it's all right, you'll feel so much better about it. So yeah, I will come back in a few minutes when it's, well, for me it's for you, but I will come back in when my hair is dry. But yeah. So this is, I'm living for it. Like, it is not the color it said it was. Maybe it's just the lighting, but it does seem a bit darker than what it's supposed to be. But I'm living for it. Like, really, like, this is, it's a look, honestly. I'm not done completely drying, like, the ends. But I don't know, it's a look, really. Like, I do love this color. And it looks pretty natural, too. And like I said, it did get rid of a lot of my roots. Overall, I think that it is really nice. I don't know, I think I'm gonna look decent in my school photos. I think that my student ID will not be trashed this year. I could show you guys what last year's looked like, which was complete garbage, to be honest. I had dyed my hair over the summer red and black. And not only that, but I spent about 5 hours on my makeup that day because I wanted to look emo or goth. And I certainly did look the part, except it was trash. So I have my student ID from last year right here. Actual garbage. Like, that, like, my neck looks like it's broken. Like, it was so bad. My best school photo, grade 9. She was a beaut. Oh my god. It was my favorite student photo, or student ID, that I've ever received. And even this one wasn't like the best, but it was still so nice. This is my best student ID photo, and I'm hoping that this year I can make my grade 12 one look not that bad. Now my grade 10 one, that one was interesting. I had shaved my head, and I dyed it hot pink. And again, it was really tragic. It's tragic. It really is. At least I could hide my acne. It looks really pale because I used the whitest foundation. And then I wore like burgundy lipstick. Again, it was not as bad as my grade 11 one, but my grade 10 one was kind of garbage. Oh, so my grade 11 one, least favorite. Hoping that this year is so much better. But I don't know, throughout the years I've had some other really bad school photos. My grade 8 school photo, again, like I was blonde at this point as well, because I wanted to dye my hair hot pink, but my mom was like, no, you have to dye it blonde first for your school photos, and for your grade 8 graduation photos, it's not going to be hot pink. It might be completely destroyed your hair. It might not look good. You are going for blonde, and then after your student ID photos and your grade 8 grad photo. So she basically said that after all my like photos for school were done, I could dye my hair hot pink, and I did. And then my grade 7 photo, I do not have the grade 6 photo, thank God. It was a mess. I think I threw it out on purpose. I wore this insane hat. It's like, it was a hot pink, oh my god, I don't even know how to explain it. It was a mess though. This is my grade 7 photo. I was going through like the emo thing. I actually have a photo of me in grade 7. There she is, wearing a Halloween costume in the middle of the summer. I don't know. Truly a fashion icon, you know? But yeah, no, so throughout the years, I have had a ton of hair colors, and some of them have just been a complete and total mess and a disaster. And I have destroyed my hair dyeing my hair. But this isn't that bad. I remember I had dyed my hair one time and it started falling out. It was so bad I shaved it. I'm constantly shaving my head. That's kind of like the theme here. Cutting it and shaving it. I cut my hair again last month. I'm not going to cut it again for school photos. It's just, there's no point. I already cut it last month. I think that this is a decent length. I don't want to go shorter. I'm trying to grow up my hair now. But yeah, so I'm hoping school photos this year are not garbage, and this hair color seems to be working for me. I don't know, I like it a lot. But yeah, so that is how to successfully box dye your hair. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will have some other videos uploaded at some point. I know currently I'm uploading another video that I'd done. It was the morning routine for acne. I'm uploading that right now. And I'm going to upload this one probably tomorrow, or even, you know, I mean, like definitely before the 27th, because the 27th I go get my books, and I am going to be doing a back to school makeup tutorial. I just went out and I bought a bunch of makeup. I will have that video, I will be making that video actually tomorrow or the day after, to kind of prepare myself for what I actually want to do for my, but yeah, so that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I honestly was expecting my hair to be a disaster. Now this is not exactly how it looks, so it's a slight fail. But that is to be expected with box dyes. Do not expect the color on the box. It is lies. But no, I am living for this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will have some more uploaded within the week, and I will see you guys later.